I rise encouraging you all to support the motion to bracket LB573. I rise in opposition to LB573. And this was a piece in the negotiation for 574, for the last bill that we discussed. Senator Linehan, who doesn't support the bill, who doesn't support taking rights away from trans kids in her heart, she had to vote for it or she'd lose too many votes on this bill. I said I would vote for the bill. I would let them speak for themselves, but several of my colleagues said they would vote for the bill. We would whip the votes for her to kill 574. Too scared, won't do it. Let me be clear and direct with Senator Kauth and the proponents of LB 574 about what just happened. Me pulling my motions was not an offer to work together. She stood up all saccharine and said, "Oh, I'm so happy that now we want to work together at the last minute, but guess what? It's too late." That was not an offer to work together. You misunderstood. She was up on the mic earlier saying, well, we had this olive branch. We were trying to work together. We had this amendment that Senator Jacobson introduced. He gave up $24,000 in 2 meetings to stay here in the legislature and vote for my bill. And then didn't end up wanting the amendment after all, did you? I'm not taking the olive branch. I don't want that POS amendment. But I'd like to see it, is what I said. I said, let's see your olive branch. And then not only did you take the amendment and run home, you shut down the process of the entire legislature. What? I would like to see that ever happen to any bill introduced by one of the opponents of LB 574, when at the very end you get got by procedure and you don't know what to do, and then you pick up your ball and you run to the Speaker's office and you say, hold on, time out, we're doing a do-over. Speaker Arch came up here and said, ooh, that amendment came up quickly. No, it didn't. That amendment was introduced weeks ago. It's been up for all of you to read and understand for weeks and weeks, to think about your vote. And after listening to what made me pull my motions was Senator Kauth saying, oh, and we've tried to compromise, we've tried to talk. Here's an amendment, for example, that nobody wants to even vote on. Let's vote on it. Show me the olive branch. Not only do we not do that, we quit and go home. You cannot do that. It's like at the end of a football game, you're losing all of a sudden, and you call a timeout and you say, actually, we're going to reset the ball and just try it again. We're going to do-over. You shouldn't get do-overs in this, and I guarantee you, any of the opponents of 574 never would have gotten a do-over like that. We should have called a point of order. We should have motioned to overrule the chair. You can't just quit because you get caught and you don't know what to do. If you were embarrassed, I would get it. I'm not embarrassed. Not only was Senator Kauth not ready for that amendment to come up, the Speaker wasn't ready. And I think the reason you had to quit, the reason Speaker Arch went up to Kathleen Kauth in the middle of her time to speak, where we had this, really awkward moment of silence, so they could confer and decide what to do and just quit and go home, was because they were afraid the bill was going to fail. They were afraid that if we didn't get that amendment on, that the bill would fail. Speaker Arch said last night, oh, well, you talk about 574 every day on every bill. That's why Westboro Baptist is here. That's why we're going to debate it on Thursday. I don't know what he said. Did he say he thought it would put it to bed? I don't know if he said that or if I'm imagining it, but it will not put it to bed. Lest the public think otherwise, we had 10 or 12 irons in the fire all day today as far as a way out of this. Deals, votes, promises, ideas, ways to give people cover who don't want to vote for this. Even that amendment, we were prepared to support. All of us who were not voting, if it would have been able to get 25 votes, we would have stood up and changed our votes. But even the amendment would have only gotten 21 votes then. So you guys are full of crap. You introduce an amendment to try and deal with us, and then you take it away, you're not dealing. You shut down the session. You go in Arch's office where nobody from the opposition's even allowed to come in. Senator John Kavanaugh tried to join you. Senator Justin Wayne tried to join you. Senator Danielle Conrad tried to join you. None of them were allowed to know what was going on. The way that we have broken norms and hurt this institution, hurt the collegiality in this body, hurt our relationships because of Senator Kathleen Kauth, because of one green senator who doesn't know what she's doing in terms of this bill, is a shame. It's embarrassing. I oppose LB574 because I don't support public funds for private schools. Is it because they're religious? No. Is it because of anything that they teach necessarily? No. I don't like it that they don't allow gay staff or gay kids or gay parents to have their kids enrolled in there. That's bigotry and that sucks, but that's like your favorite thing. Point blank, I don't support public funds for private schools. Public funds belong in schools that serve all kids. Any conversation about the weaknesses of public schools or private schools or the strengths of public schools or private schools or what a great time your kid had there and what a tough time your kid had at the other one, it doesn't matter. It has no bearing on the morality of LB574. We cannot give public funds to private institutions. Subpoint, private institutions that are allowed to legally discriminate. I'm also curious, this is a real, I'm serious, I'm curious about how the opportunity scholarship tax credits are doled out to the scholarship granting organizations. Could Senator Michaela Cavanaugh and I start a scholarship granting organization for LGBTQ and trans kids? And then could we apply and receive dollar for dollar tax credits for all the contributions to our scholarship granting organization? And then could we take 10% off the top of that for administrative fees? Then I'd be making money like Senator Jacobson, who's been giving it up to come in here and discriminate against trans kids. I was really hopeful for some good relationships with you guys this year. I mean, Senator Brandt and I, he's been a good friend to me until now. Senator Hughes and I hit it off at the Legislative Council meeting that we had. I'll probably never go to Legislative Council again. I mean, like, I know you're really sad about that, but this place is a joke. You aren't serious about progress or relationships or the future of this state, or what we should have as our shared goals of workforce development and economic development. All you want to do is race to be the next Florida, race to be the next, Greg Abbott's Texas, DeSantis's Florida. It's a race to the bottom. And I don't know what you're getting out of it. What's in it for you? I won't say who because it's too mean, but I know that so many of you did not want to vote for that bill, but you were so afraid of, quote, being kneecapped, quote, being spit on. Like anything you could experience as a state senator is worse than what the trans kids of Nebraska are going through because of your discrimination and bigotry. Please grow up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Hunt.